Films and television series, premieres at movie theaters and international film festivals. Lives of film stars and other daily activities. Stay up to date with everything that is happening in Kazakh cinema by watching Price of Admission.
On today's program, Serhiy Kaprymov's new film «Zvonok ottsu», the premiere of drama film «Крылья, подаренные матерью», Oleg Belyalov's nature documentary «Алтын Эмель».
На фоне гламурных премьер
Serhiy Kaprymov's new film «Zvonok ottsu» stands out amidst numerous mainstream commercial films that have been released this year. One of the main reasons is that its director, Serhiy Kaprymov, is one of the founders of Kazakh New Wave. «Zvonok ottsu» also marks Serhiy Kaprymov's first credit as a cinematographer. This film was made independently by Kaprymov using largely his own finances. Despite its low budget and independent status, film has good production values. The author touches upon a subject that has been at the center of his attention for a long time. In this film, he explores the evolution of a father-son relationship. He wants to tell us that sons need their fathers from a young age through adulthood, to show them the ways to be a man.
Ну или хотя бы какой-нибудь отец.
I made my very first film 30 years ago while I was studying at Gerasimov Institute of Cinematography. The short film «Двое ехали на мотоцикле» was shot on a low budget, without a film crew and without a written script for the actors. Surprisingly, it turned out great and everyone loved it. Despite the fact that I was able to secure funds for my next film and made it with a professional crew, my second short film was unsuccessful. 30 years later, I decided to repeat that experiment and made a feature film using my own money with no funding from a major film studio. Why aren't you asleep? What have you done to him? I took him to the medicine woman. What medicine woman? Even the animals do not torture their young like you do. Didn't he come out of your womb? How did you dare? Everyone goes to her. What? Do you have a lot of money? Then take him to a city doctor. Kill him with your own hands. This is my first time watching this film. I'm feeling overwhelmed. I liked it a lot. I never doubted Serhiy Kaprymov's talent, for he is a great film director. Film «Бауыр», which marked our first collaboration together, was done with a big film crew. It could be said that this film he has shot all by himself. Apart from being a writer-director, he was also serving as his own cinematographer. Despite film's independent status, the footage looks very professional. It's also the first time I worked on a film that was made without a crew.
Один человек выполняет всю работу съемочной группы.
Marat, wake up. You are going to be late for school. All right. What are you up to? It's all set. Shall I light a heater? No one lights a heater in the morning. You can do it in the evening. One of the key features of working on this film was the fact that we didn't use any scripts during filming. Usually actors know all their lines before filming starts. There was no script, only a story structure. All the dialogue was generated on the spot. At the end of each day, film director showed us the dailies, and we were able to see for ourselves how the story and our performances were progressing. Making this film was a great collaborative effort. If the actor is given a screenplay, he starts imagining how he is going to play his part. An actor seeks to produce more emotion than he really possesses. The mistake of most actors is that they don't think about the action itself, but of its results. All of this could result in cliché acting. In order to avoid it, I always refuse to give the complete script to the cast. I want you to sort those bricks carefully first thing tomorrow. Meanwhile, I will be making transportation arrangements. It would be great if we could sell 2 trucks full of bricks. While I was driving from Astana to Almaty, I missed a turn and ended up in this village. After wandering around it, I decided to make a film at this location. My method is based on the following principle, which is shooting film on a tight budget without either a crew or a written script for the actors. Many major shoots can have up to 40 people on set. It takes all the focus away when everybody's chattering. That is why, in order to protect myself from any distractions, I prefer having extremely small crews instead. Serika Primov often in his films touches upon the subject of father-son relationship. Main protagonist of his film Охотник doesn't have a father at all. He is being raised by a hunter. In his next film titled Baur, yet another fatherless boy accepts his manhood at an early age. In Zvonok, ottsu, father takes his son to the orphanage after his wife leaves him. Eventually, he gets remarried and lives happily with his new family. But what about his son, who became an orphan with 2 living parents? These are not just personal stories. I think that what concerns Serika Primov the most is what will become of the next fatherless generation. We are attending the premiere of Kazhimukhan Kalimbetov's debut film «Крылья, подаренные матерью». It tells the story about 2 brothers who have totally different careers and who are confronted with terminal illness of their mother. I would like to spread my wings by tearing down the cages of everyday life. It will make my dreams come true. Then I could fly high up into the sky. Thank you, Dinara. The sky is near, it will always support me. I need only to flap my wings, and the vast sky will let me float in its boundless ocean. You are ready, you'll be fine. We've come all this way, so good luck to you. I will be in the audience. Kazhimukhan Kalimbetov is a well-known actor who recently decided to take a turn in the director's chair. He was invited to join this project by film producer Dastan Siyitov on the recommendation of their common friend and cinematographer Birjan Yeskinder. It could be said that this film project has brought together a group of enthusiasts who share one common goal of making a good feature film. I wanted to be an artist since I was a child. However, since my father was a doctor, after finishing high school, I enrolled at the medical institute. My interest in art had not waned, and that's why, after graduating from medical institute, I decided to pursue my career as an actor. During my studies, my acting mentor, Orashan Kenibayev, used to say that I had potential of being more than just an actor. He'd planted a seed of learning film directing. That's why later I enrolled at Turan University in order to study filmmaking.
Туран университетіне қарасты академия кино и телевидениеға режиссер мамандығына түсіп, сондан дәріс алып, сондан үйрендім.
Film story and the first draft of screenplay was written by Dastan Siitov, who also serves as a film's producer. He has no prior experience of making films, but he always wanted to work in the film industry. «Крылья, подаренные матерью» marks his debut as a producer. After the first draft was finished, the screenplay was polished by several people, among whom were actor Yerken Gubashov, screenwriters Azamat Abdildinov, Andrei Khodin, and the film's director. The idea to make this film belongs to Dastan. Actually, this is his childhood dream. I have been working as an actor since 2013. I'm known as a dramatic actor. I haven't even acted in comedies because I prefer drama. So, when I was approached by a producer, I immediately signed up to work on this film, since it is a human interest drama which explores relationship between a mother and a son. Main protagonist, who is played by Sanurjan Suleimenov, is not only a loving son but also an aspiring poet. Opposite him as his drug-addict brother stars Nishanbek Zhubanayev. The film also features such actors as Zhenya Kaliyeva, Aset Nurpisov, Gulnara Yeraliyeva and Yerken Gubashov. When I first started acting in film and on television, my mother made me recite a lot of poetry. She taught how to control volume, pace, rhythm, intonation, and proper pronunciation. Those lessons had a great impact on my acting career. In a way, my recitation skills were one of the main reasons why I was chosen to play this role. The film touches on many interesting themes such as family, relationships, choosing between your dreams and duties, and so on. But in our opinion, those topics have not been tackled in sufficient depth. As a result, the film lacks any real tension, conflict or confrontation between its principal characters. The most deepest and insightful thoughts are said in verse. Nirjan Ashimov wrote several memorable poems that are heard during the course of this film. These poems alone can offer a very rewarding experience for those who are watching it. How dare anyone say that I fell down halfway up my path? Even if the night is as black as soot, I'll still be able to find a star. For my mother's heart won't let me stray from my true self. For many years, film director Vyacheslav Belyalov had been making nature documentaries on the flora and fauna of our country. He was a great documentary director and cinematographer. Vyacheslav Belyalov could wait several months to get just a few minutes of wildlife footage. After his death, this niche genre in Kazakh cinema has remained vacant until now. Today we are attending the premiere of documentary Altyn Emel, which is telling about wildlife species inhabiting Altyn Emel National Park. This film was shot and directed by Vyacheslav Belyalov's son Oleg Belyalov, who is a famous Kazakhstani photographer specializing in wildlife and landscape photography. Altyn Emel marks his return to filmmaking. The threat looming over our environment is at critical point. Every minute of every day the Earth is wearing out because of our mistreatment of it. If we don't stop ravaging it, we can lose everything. Awareness of environmental protection came to us just over 100 years ago. But conservation efforts so far have been a dismal failure. Due to human impacts on the planet, our environment is getting worse. During the 80s and 90s, I worked at Kazakh film studio. I was serving as a cinematographer on many of my father's documentaries. That is why I'm no stranger to filmmaking. In fact, at the base level, both photography and cinematography are the same. In order to capture the seasonal cycle, we had to travel to Altyn National Park during each of 4 seasons. I had to spend many long hours to capture the behavior of various animals. Sometimes I had to spend up to 10 days filming there. Altogether, filming lasted about 3 months. After filming ended, I began editing down many hours of footage into one 50-minute film. I came into this job from zoology. That's why there was no problem for me to write the screenplay for this documentary. I already knew what topics might be interesting for viewers. Now it sounds like fantasy, but during the late 19th century, within 100 to 200 kilometers of Almaty, the total population density of taiga was considered to be one of the largest in the world. Wild tigers completely disappeared from Kazakhstan in the 1940s due to poaching and the loss of territory. Russian ornithologist and entomologist Sergei Alferaki wrote in 1879, "Tigers are regularly seen in reed beds along the Ili River. It occurs in high densities, in particular along the lower reaches and the banks of Lake Balkhash. Large populations of wild boar are regularly seen in the swamps of the delta. They represent main prey base of the Turanian taiga. At places where livestock are abundant, the tigers subsist almost exclusively on them. Each time when he is hungry, he approaches the village, showing no fear of people, and grabs whatever prey he chooses, be it a sheep, horse, dog, or even a cow." Oleg is best known for his work in the field of wildlife photography. I didn't know that he is also a zoologist. His precision in visualizing the script and turning it into footage, along with his use of sound, proved that he is also a great wildlife film director. I applaud the recent developments of documentary cinema in our country. There are more and more different and interesting works produced each year. Among recent films, I would like to note Asiya Байкожина's social issue documentary film «В поисках веры», Alexei Kamensky's Kazakhsky Renaissance Jumat Shanin, which is telling about the life of Jumat Shanin, who is considered to be one of the founding fathers of modern Kazakh theater. And lastly, Oleg Belyalov's environmental film «Altyn Emel». Today we attended the premiere of Serik Aprymov's new film Zvonok, ottsu. We also told you about the drama «Крылья, подаренные матерью» and spoke with creators of natural history film Altyn Emel. See you next time on Price of Admission.